Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark went to battle today with the Atlanta Dream taking on the Indiana Fever. As you can see right here, Angel Reese, got called for a foul on Caitlin Clark flopping. Angel Reese smiling, let people know about it. She also did a little bit of mocking there.
Every time Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese share the same floor, the internet does not just react. It explodes. One hard foul becomes a conspiracy. One stare becomes disrespect. One camera angle becomes evidence. Suddenly, everyone online acts like they just watched the biggest scandal in basketball.
Last night, the Indiana Fever went up against Angel Reese and the Atlanta Dream. Caitlin Clark debuting her new shoe, her signature shoe, the Caitlin Ones. Last night would have been a night where if you really had your teammates back, if you had your players back as a coach, you step up. You rise to the occasion. You play inspired. You give effort defensively. You don't look lackadaisical.
But here is the truth. That is what the machine wants. Because Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese is real. The tension is real. The history is real. But a lot of what gets built around it is not real at all. It is rage bait.
About the foul baiting as well. Tonight, Angel Reese went off for 21, 11, 1 assist. She did so on 57% shooting. Caitlin Clark, 26.7 assists, 2 rebounds, but 5 turnovers and a minus 12 plus minus as well. Also, Angel Reese right now, the only player in the W to be averaging 15 plus points and 12 rebounds. She's actually the only person averaging a 15-point double-double right now in the W. Performing really, really well in year 3 here is Angel Reese.
Today we need to separate the real rivalry from the fake drama. And the craziest part is they do not need to fake anything. The real story is big enough. This exploded in the 2023 National Championship. LSU versus Iowa. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Reese's team wins the title. The cameras catch Reese doing the "you can't see me" gesture toward Clark, the same gesture Clark had used earlier in the tournament. And then Reese points to her ring finger. That one moment lit the fuse.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Overnight, the country split into sides. Some called it confidence. Some called it disrespect. The conversation became personal. It became ugly. And the internet learned one dangerous thing. Clark plus Reese equals clicks. Then they both enter the WNBA, and the rivalry scales up. Now it is the pros. It is national television. Every possession gets slowed down, zoomed in, circled in red, and turned into evidence. A hard box out becomes disrespect. A foul becomes targeting. A look after a bucket becomes beef. A quote gets chopped up and pushed out like a declaration of war. That is where fans need to stop and ask one question. What actually happened? Because here is what is real. Clark does not want to lose to Reese. Reese does not want to lose to Clark. That is not hatred. That is sports.
I don't owe Angel Reese an apology. I've always thought Angel Reese was a really good player. She was going to do one thing at a high level when she got drafted, and that was rebound. And she's done that. What she has done is kind of shut a lot of people up, because it was plenty of people that were saying she can't score in the WNBA. She's not going to be able to get buckets in the WNBA. And she's worked on her game. She's improved her offensive game. And if it was this easy, other players would be doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
They would all be getting double-doubles, and they can't. And so you got to give her credit. She went out and worked on her game, because coming out of college, it was, she's not going to be able to score in the WNBA. She can get some rebounds.
When Indiana and Chicago meet, the intensity jumps. Bodies hit the floor. Rebounds get fought for. Every loose ball feels bigger than one regular season game. And the contrast is real. Clark is the long-range storm. She bends the defense from 30 feet away. Reese is the force on the glass. She lives in the paint, fights for position, and turns missed shots into extra possessions. One creates panic with range. The other creates pressure with physicality. And the impact is real too. When these two are involved, people watch, argue, buy tickets, and suddenly know the schedule. That is growth happening in real time. But now we need to talk about what is not real. The mind reading, the fake quotes, The thumbnails screaming that one of them destroyed the other. The videos claiming one player exposed the other because of a 3-second clip with no audio. This is how the rage bait machine works. Somebody finds a clip. Maybe it is a hard foul. Maybe it is a normal collision. Maybe it is just two players standing near each other after a whistle. Then they freeze the most dramatic frame. They add a red arrow. They add one giant word like attacked, mocked, or humiliated. Then they invent the emotion. They tell you Clark was furious. They tell you Reese was laughing. They tell you somebody was jealous, bitter, scared, exposed, or embarrassed. But when you actually watch the full clip, sometimes nothing happened. No quote, no confrontation, no scandal, just basketball. And by the time anyone checks, it is too late. 10 other channels copy it. A fake quote gets repeated like it is confirmed. A normal foul becomes a personal attack. Millions of people walk away believing they saw something that never actually happened. That is the dangerous part. Attention is good for the league. Emotion is part of sports. The problem is when fans stop watching the game and start watching edited evidence packages designed to make them angry. So here is the rule. If someone says Reese said something, show the clip. If someone says Clark reacted, show the footage. If someone says there was an incident, show the full play. Not one screenshot, not a red circle, not dramatic music. The proof. Because this rivalry does not need fake fuel. It is already fire. And honestly, that is my biggest take. The people inventing extra drama are not making Clark versus Reese bigger. They are making it cheaper. They are taking two of the most important athletes in the sport and flattening them into cartoon characters. Clark becomes the hero, Reese becomes the villain, or depending on the channel, the roles flip. But real life is not that simple. Caitlin Clark is a killer competitor. Angel Reese is a high-level player, a competitor, a personality, and someone who understands that attention is part of the business. That is what makes this compelling. Not fake hatred. Real tension, real history, real contrast, real stakes. They do not need to be friends. Rivalries are built on stakes. They are built on the feeling that when these two players share the court, something bigger is happening. And Clark versus Reese has that. When they play, it matters. So the next time you see a thumbnail screaming that one of them snapped, mocked, attacked, or destroyed the other, ask one question. Where is the proof? Because the real Clark versus Reese story is not boring. But the fake version is just people selling you anger because they know you will click. So enjoy the rivalry. Pick your side. Argue in the comments. But do not let somebody trick you into believing a feud they had to invent. Watch the game. Watch the full clip. So let me know below, is Clark versus Reese good for the league, or has the media already pushed it too far? Like the video if you want the real story without the fake outrage. Subscribe for the next one, and I will see you in the next video.